better. To grow, I had to let her. She needed cheddar, and I understood that. Looking for cheese that don't make her a hood rat. In fact, she's a queen to me. Her light beams on me. I love it when she sings to me. It's like that.
You know you rock my world, and you be boy and I'll be girl, and it don't stop till the break of dawn. You know you rock my world.
Welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. You're listening to us on 103.5 WNHH. We're live streaming, New Haven Independent, Facebook, X, wherever Harry, YouTube, wherever Harry has us. You know, we go where Harry say go. I'm over at the New Haven, I'm over at the inner city site now. Getting a sense of, you know, what's going on in the world, what's going on across the diaspora. So it's really nice to sort of pop over here. A lot of stuff about the Pope. Do you know it's been 5 years after George Floyd? And we're seeing all those people who made declarations and letters and commitments to more diversity, equity, and inclusion. Just short 5 years later, it's all unraveling, all being undone. And I wish people could stand outside themselves and see how that looks. Because what you're saying is, I don't care about all the different kinds of people, culture. It's just white, and white is the way we're going to roll. That's essentially what they're saying. You know, you got these fragile white men who feel left out. Oh, we're not going to be in charge, so therefore we're crying in our beer. Okay, white men. White women. Oh, white men. They need us. They need our support. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what? Who am I to try to understand the machinations of white folks? This is what I'll say. May is Lupus Awareness Month. Just FYI. I have quite a few friends with lupus, men and women, and it's an autoimmune disease. And it affects people in various ways. This is the appropriate time to sort of raise awareness, get yourself screened, run the test, talk to your doctors, all the things. There are high lupus risk rates among young Black women, and a peak risk of developing the disease occurs in young adulthood. So lupus is running rampant. There's an article up on the inner city page, because we belong to a couple of wires: Black Health Matters, BlackDoctors.org, all the things. Lupus is running rampant among young Black women, says a new University of Michigan study of lupus in the southwestern part of the state. The rate of developing lupus was 3 times higher than previous estimates, reaching 1 in 537 Black female Michiganders in the region. And this is just one piece from Michigan. So, See, this kind of study is so critical for us to understand, how we can take care and protect ourselves. It doesn't matter that it's in Michigan. The information is pertinent and relevant to all of us, right? The research, part of a landmark epidemiology study, is the largest of its kind ever performed in the U.S., focusing on lupus. So that in itself is a big deal. There's a very poor understanding of what causes lupus, and identifying the population and dynamics involved helps target resources more effectively and better recognize risk factors for the development and progression of the disease. So yeah, this is a big deal. So lupus onset occurring before or during reproductive years can have significant implications for childbearing and risk in pregnancy, and of course may lead to a higher burden of health, more at risk. Women are more at risk than men, but there are men with lupus. So, so that's just one of these things, right? Like the science can help. If we put more attention and time to this and money, we could get some cures, or better tools to fight back or a lupus specifically, But with any scientific study, there's other things that they discover en route to looking for a cure for a particular thing, that could benefit a whole lot of folks. So anyway, I'm fascinated by that kind of stuff, and people sort of get on it. Let's see. Yeah, so we raised. Let me see what else is going on. Shrinking number of. Oh, this freaked me out a little bit. Shrinking number of Connecticut firefighters is seen as a public safety crisis. Why aren't people becoming firefighters? What is happening? This is out of Hartford. Sean Scanlon is the state comptroller, and he was talking about this in a press conference. And he's feeling like we don't have enough. So the decline in volunteers has left some of Connecticut's rural areas, which are more likely to rely on volunteer departments, in a bind. The Torrington Volunteer Fire Department closed effective April 1st, and Pomfret has seen a 50% drop in volunteers. So the loss of volunteers forces communities to come up with new coverage plans, stretching existing resources more thinly or increasing their reliance on career firefighters, with the resulting increase in expense. Well, Ronell Higgins, commissioner of the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, called the situation a public safety crisis. He touted the pathways to a firefighting career that the department had opened in the state and encouraged girls and women to look into firefighting careers. Yeah. So when I was coming up, firefighting was a career that was a fulfilling career, that you could climb the ranks, you could work your way up, all the things. And so I don't there's a whole article on that. It was up on the New Haven Independent, and it's over up on the inner city page. So I just thought that was interesting to sort of just take a few minutes to look at that, and to help raise the alarm. So the DEI deception: white women benefit, Black Americans blamed. Yeah, because they've they've wrapped DEI around blackness, black people, but the same way that they did equal opportunity. He just make it look like it's just black people benefiting, and then all the white people and everybody else in the world was like, "Oh yeah, that's a program for black people." When all the reality is, it's white women. Affirmative action, equal opportunity, all that stuff. Same modus operandi, same players, same actors, same, you know. So the false narrative has been pushed strategically. The notion that black people are the primary beneficiaries of DEI, despite evidence to the contrary, has fueled irrational hostility, often from those who benefited the most. This is what Reese Colbert, a political commentator, said. So even white women are pissed off about DEI because they think black people are benefiting more than them, but it's white women are the biggest beneficiaries of DEI. So she goes on to say, often those that benefited the most, white women, according to the data compiled by the Zippia and cited in the Root and the Phillies Women Network, 76% of chief diversity officers in corporate America are white. 76%. 54% are white women. A Forbes analysis found that white women hold nearly 90% of all C-suite positions, while women of color account for just 4%. Just 4%. But yet, we are the face of DEI. You talk about hustlers. It's just outrageous how they want to dismantle the very thing that benefits them. This is the best example of racism out there. White people think that they're not benefiting enough from DEI, so they're going to dismantle it. And they're the ones that are benefiting. Do you see the foolishness in that? Racism is a drug. It is a powerful, addictive drug. 76% of chief diversity officers in corporations, in corporate America, is white. And 54% of the 76% are white women. Guess how much percentage we are? 4%. Okay. So white women have also received the lion's share of affirmative action benefits in both employment and education. A 2025 study cited by the League of Women Voters revealed that that as early as 1997, at least 6 million white women held positions they would not otherwise would have obtained without affirmative action. So it's white women. But yet Trump continues to vilify DEI, recently expanding tariffs that hurt companies like Nike and Adidas while using anti-white rhetoric to justify his DEI rollbacks. And this is why Target is stupid. This is why. Because they got on that bandwagon and then they thought, I don't know what they thought, that black people wasn't spending no money. I don't know what they thought. And now they feel it. And I don't know what they could do to get us back. So anyway, these moves are not just cultural, they are economic. McKinsey and Company reports that companies with diverse teams are 35% more likely to outperform their industry peers financially, meaning black folks know how to make white folks some money. Meanwhile, Black professionals are still fighting to be seen and supported. The 2019 Coqual report, being Black in Corporate America, found that Black professionals are more likely to face racial prejudice at work, less likely to receive sponsorship, and more likely to be passed over for promotions, even when equally or more qualified. Yeah. The barriers that Black employees face to advancement seem to be largely invisible to their white colleagues because they don't want to know about it. They just don't want to know about it. And they just don't see it. They're like, well, if I'm here and you're here, then you should be able to do what I do because I'm here. Oh, God. And despite decades of DEI, white men still hold the vast majority of C-suite positions. Diversity consultant Susan X. Jane has stated, no matter what the administration is saying, there is no evidence of an anti-white discrimination. But, it's one of these things where you just say it enough and people are like, oh, yeah. Because what a fool believes, he sees. So Dr. Watson Greason put it plainly in a previously published interview. Diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives offered a compromise to narrowly tailored goals in response to white fears, Greason stated. And now those same people who benefited are trying to burn it all down. Yep, that's it. That's it. And here's the other thing for me. What they're burn it all down, but that means not even they could climb through. They want to burn it down. Now even their own can't walk through the fire. Ain't that something? America is racist. Bop, 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 up. Bop, 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 up. I mean, that's just what it is. I just find that it's just every time I think about that, every time I hear, when that Trump is up there waxing poetic about DEI and woke and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm thinking, you're just curtailing the wings of white people. You just hurt white people, white women is specifically. White men are not in danger. That's just some circus clown act to say so that you could be dastardly about your policies. That's all that is. You're just being dastardly. But you know what? Strategic resistance. We know how to do strategic resistance. Black America is playing the long game. I don't care what people say. We playing the long game because we already know how to do this. White people don't know how to do it, but we know how to do it. We know how to do it. We've been doing it. We've been playing the long game since we've been here since 1619. This ain't new. So anyway, I just thought I'd raise that. But listen, those that know. The white people are not going to be the majority. So I mean, you could import all the white South Africans you want. You could open the doors to Western Europeans, Eastern European, all the white people. It's not going to change the fact that the global majority is not white. The global majority is not white. And all these countries that are trying to curtail immigrants and migrants, all the things, because their populations are getting darker and darker and darker. It's coming. So y'all got what, a good 50 more years? I mean, I'll be dead, but listen, y'all got about 50 more years of this. And then America will be not white, not majority white. And I get it. You see the writing on the wall, and you're working desperately to slow the progression. You're working desperately to curtail movement. You're working you're working diligently to stop people from coming in. You're doing everything that you can to ensure that white supremacy is in play. And the harder they work at it, the more it starts to tear itself down. It starts to tear itself down. So America is a party to its own undoing. And and when you don't see that, or you just sit from a lens of whiteness and you don't see it, that means you are playing in the game too. By not speaking it doesn't mean it's not happening. Oh Lord. It's just like, everybody's up in arms about AI. AI is here. It's just here. And, trying to, listen, I'm one of these people. I think you have to, you're going to need attorneys, lawyers who are going to be able to be proficient and experts in this new frontier, because it is growing so fast, that places are starting to embrace it as part of, what they do. And the way that they, I'm starting to see universities use it as part of education processes. Businesses are starting to use it as customer service processes. So it is here. Now, I like the fact that you put ethicists and scientists and coders and all of them in the room and start talking about how do we, because really the conversation is going to be, how do we police this? And that's just only in this country. We can't control what other people do in other countries around AI. And AI is wild. You could do all kinds of stuff. You could put people in situations and places that they're not even in. You could take somebody's likeness and put them in all kinds of things without their knowledge and consent. That's for me, that's the real danger. I like the coolness of the technology. I love that, that it is there. But I also understand when it falls into the hands of predatory people, hustlers, grifters, all the ilk of humanity to make a dollar, to make some money. To make some money across the globe. That's not gonna be a good thing. It's not going to be. Yes, of course. Legitimate, we need it for science. Legitimate, we need it for education. Legitimate, we need it for all kinds of things. And puts us way ahead in terms of our intellectual capacity. But at the other side, y'all know the hustlers, the grifters, the pimps, the pushers, they're going to have capability too. And that might be the problem. That's where the problem is going to be. That's where the problem is going to be. And we have to figure out a way to sort of police that. And I'm saying police it. I don't know how, because this looks like a big ass genie out of a very big ass bottle. So, I don't know what y'all gonna do. You could say we're gonna ban this and ban that, but the moment you start banning stuff, listen, the dark web, the underground, the black market, all the places where people go and just don't play by the same rules as everybody else. There's a different, it's always gonna be those people, the backdoor type stuff, underground, all of that. It's a whole world of this stuff. So I don't know how you're going to police it, because the more that you police it, because let me tell you something, the best and brightest don't work for the government. The best and the brightest do not work for the government. And the best and the brightest, I don't know if they are so much ruled by money as they are by freedom to do what they want to do. You see what I mean? That's where it's going to be very difficult to police the AI, because there are people out there who are creative in their mind. They're not run or ruled by money. They just want to be able to create. See how far this thing go. That's the challenge. Those are the ones that's going to be dangerous. Dangerous. That's what that's going to be. So until you are able to like reel them in, and it can't be for money, because they don't care about that. You know those types. They just they like the technology. They like the information. They like the control and the power to build things higher, bigger, faster, longer, stronger. That's their motivation. They don't care about Bill Gates' money, because they can make that. So I don't know how governments across the world are going to police that unless they come at them with this sense of, but the government won't, because the government will come at them like the Gestapo, right? Like, oh, we're gonna, if we catch you, we're gonna lock you up for 1,000 years. These people are gonna have back doors and all this other kind of stuff. You're never gonna. There's some kid in China right now who's already picking the lock to some old Fort Knox thing here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you're not going to be. So at the very least, you're going to have to buddy. You're going to have to invite them to the table and say, listen, whatever deal we can make with you so that you can help us keep the cyber world safe. That's how that's going to have to go. That's the only way. This a partnership. It's going to be like a Justice League of AI. You've got to convince them that they have a stake in humanity and use their talents for the right side of things. Good luck with that. Y'all seen the movies? It don't play out like that. It does not ever play out like that. But good luck. Good luck. So AI is the thing that gives me the most pause, because I don't know how you curtail it. I don't know how do I just don't know how you do it. And I dare say, and don't get me wrong, I know there's some folks that work in government who are on this, who are on it, but that's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough. So I just pay attention. Pay attention. Listen, AI is everywhere. You make a call. It's not a human person talking to you. It's AI. You get online and they want to solve your problem for you. That's AI. So now you don't got to whine about somebody in India taking your call. I don't understand them. You don't got to whine about that anymore, right? AI will talk to you in whatever language you need to be talked to it. It's just crazy, So, and the reliance, and it's the convenience, right? We like the convenience. We do. We like the convenience, and we like the convenience, and it's cheap. AI is not expensive, to build it into stuff. It doesn't seem to be cost prohibited. That's another danger. It's everybody and anybody can step their toe in the water of AI creativity and development. So that alone right there is and there's people out there who's building stuff to sucker people and to defraud people, and so I don't know. We can make all the laws like, we catch you, we're gonna put you in jail for 1,000 years. Okay. That's one way to do that. Very, very wild, wild west kind of thinking. I get it. So anyway, I think a lot about that, I think about that a great deal. So anyway, that's just something to think about. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to talk about, I came across some, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow because I only got a few more minutes left. But I came across something about Sojourner Truth, who's, that ain't I a woman? And that's not what she said in her speech. What happened was because of the dialect, white women interpreted it as her saying, "Ain't I a woman?" But that's not what she said. That's not what, and they figured out that that's not what she said. Like scholars and historians have figured out that that's not what she said. All these people, you know how white folks do sometimes. They hear what they want to hear, and so they thought this made it better, in terms of her ability to speak and all that. This just made for good, better theater. I was very shocked by that. I was like, "Oh my God!" So I think I'm gonna find the passage. I'm gonna find the scholarly piece and talk about it tomorrow, because that is fascinating to me, and it just makes me think. Every time I come across some new thing about Black people in history, I'm always just like, white people have just really done a lot. They have done a lot. So I'm gonna dig that up. Hopefully I can find it easily and readily tomorrow, and I'll talk about it early. But I read it, and then I had to reread it again, because I was like, what? All this time? I mean, this has been printed and reprinted and put on flyers and posters and T-shirts and jewelry, and that is not accurate. It's deliberately not accurate. And I thought, wow. So I'm gonna talk about that. I got to talk about it. Anyway, I'll do that tomorrow. All right, now I'm gonna get out there and chase this day, because it looks beautiful out. I think this is going to be a great day. I think the rest of the week is going to be like rain. I think we got today, tomorrow, and then the rest of the week into the weekend, rain. Oh well. That's all right, because I think we need it, I guess. Listen, who am I? I'm not the weather man. I'm not the weather person. I just play one on the radio. So yeah. So tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday. Rain. So get ready. Because here it comes. It's raining. Here it comes. It's raining. Here it comes. So, which I like a rainy day. I don't know if I want 8,000 days of rain, but a rainy day is necessary. Plus, it'll keep me indoors. I mean, I'll go on the porch. And the porch is open, by the way. So if you're around, stop by. I got some studying to do, so I'll be out there studying for the most part. I did find me a bona fide place to study. I probably won't hit it up until the latter part of this week, because rain. And but I found a place that will allow me to hang my hat while I study, because I'm behind. And school has not even started, and I'm behind. So I'll get into it. But I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for riding with me this fine Monday. Get out there and enjoy this day. And let's catch up tomorrow. Thanks, Harry. And I know your wife had a good Mother's Day, and your daughter had a good Mother's Day. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
I was told the true definition of a man was to never cry, work till you're tired, got to provide, always be the rock for my fam, protect them by all means, and give you the things that you need, baby. Our relationship is suffering, trying to give you what I never had. You say I don't know how to love.
Hi, this is Babz Rawls-Ivy from New Haven, Connecticut, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, streaming live